Hello everyone and welcome back to the Common Sense Crypto channel. As with you always, this is Rich doing another video today on XRP. So I hope you're all having a wonderful day today wherever you are in this great world. We're gonna talk about XRP. And I gotta start by giving a shout out to Jeremy Hogan. He is leaving X now that the Rippleverse SEC case is over. He says, "Dear friends, my time on X has come to an end. I had no idea that when I saw the article about Ripple lawsuit back on Christmas 2020, yes, that long ago, that it was the Christmas gift that would take me to places I've never imagined. Thank you all for being on this journey with me and for trusting me through it all. I am only proud that I saw it through to the end and did my best to keep you informed and hopefully a little entertained. Now it's time for me to focus on some other things, maybe some new adventure. If you ever need me, come and find me. I wish you all the best in life. Find yourself a good woman if you haven't already and hold her tight. It's my final advice." Well, here at last, dear friends, on the shores of the sea, comes to the end of our fellowship in Middle Earth. Go in peace, Gandalf. I thought that was great. He used a Lord of the Rings analogy. But Jeremy Hogan was great at explaining things that people didn't understand that were going on with the Rippleverse SEC case all along the way. And he is truly gonna be missed on X. He definitely entertained me multiple times. So I just wanted to give him a great shout out. Now, I'm gonna play a clip. And a lot of people listened to this clip, but they didn't really understand what Brad was talking about. Take a listen.
CEO Brett Garlinghouse, he joins us right now. And you know, David, some say Ripple could be the next Bitcoin. What do you think, Brad? Is that a compliment that Ripple could be the next Bitcoin?
Well, I think if we're solving a real problem and it's at scale, then I think it's a compliment. I think the most important thing that is going on in crypto is understanding what is real and what is just hype. Some, I think, may look back on Bitcoin and find that it was the Napster of digital assets. What I mean by that is Napster was the first to digitize music and demonstrate, hey, if you digitize music, you can do a lot of cool things with that. But ultimately, they were circumventing trademark laws, they were circumventing royalty payments, and government stepped in, and Napster was not successful. But Spotify, iTunes, Pandora, they were very successful. I think what you'll find is that maybe the next generation of digital assets ends up solving some of the original problems that Bitcoin set out to solve.
What Brad was talking about there was the scalability of Bitcoin. A lot of people don't remember this. But what Bitcoin was actually created to do was be a person-to-person payment system. So people could send money back and forth. But it really failed in that. Miserably, it failed in that. And that's why they created a better Bitcoin when they created XRP. In 2013, Ripple was a payment network for Bitcoiners, a decentralized network with built-in currency exchange for seamless cross-currency transactions. Right from the beginning, Ripple created a system where people could transact their Bitcoin. Fast forward to today, no Bitcoin maxi would ever move their Bitcoin over the XRP ledger. They couldn't bring themselves to do it. Even though it's faster and it's cheaper, they're just never gonna do it. XRP is not only the next Bitcoin on steroids. XRP is here to flip the entire global financial system. Owning XRP will change your life forever. XRP, since I invested in it, it absolutely changed my life. I mean, I met so many great people in this space over time. It keeps you going. It keeps you holding. You become part of something so much bigger. And where XRP is going from here, it is going to be absolutely mind-blowing because people really can't fathom how big this actually is. The Nostro Vostro accounts alone are going to take XRP to some fantastic price points once that unlock happens. But let's get back to Bitcoin. What are the two things Bitcoin maxis have talked down for a decade? More than anything, that's called a tell, gold and XRP. They always said Bitcoin is digital gold, but now we have tokenized gold on the XRP ledger. People are going to be able to move the value of gold as fast as they move money utilizing XRP. So that ends that whole narrative of digital gold. And where did these narratives come from? Well, if you fail at the main reason Bitcoin was created, which was to send payments, once you fail at that, you have to keep that hype going then. You got to change the narrative then. Oh, well, it's scarce. But somebody could honestly capture 51% of the network and they could create more Bitcoin. BlackRock actually disclosed that in their ETF filing for Bitcoin. Then you look beyond that and it's like, okay, so now it's a store of value, but it failed as a store of value as well. Gold always will be the number one store of value, and people just don't get it yet. Everything around Bitcoin is one big narrative. XRP is the real deal. Ryan Zagnone from Ripple Labs back in 2018 at an IMF event. The only problem that holds XRP back is regulatory certainty, not technical issues. There was never any technical issues for XRP. But watch what he says about store proof of work, and watch how quick they try to keep him quiet about it.
Right. You might still use proof of work.
Great. But I invite Ryan and Desiree, I don't know if you would like to comment on this as well. But Ryan, go ahead.
Proof of work doesn't work. Proof of work doesn't work. It's been widely...
Ryan, proof of work's been working.
Let me finish.
Well,
proof of work doesn't work.
Let him finish, please.
And in the early days of Bitcoin, there was a whole group of developers that broke off to create other assets, XRP being one of them, that doesn't use mining, that's cheaper from an energy perspective than Visa, and already scales to 1,500 transactions a second.
Now, that 1,500 transactions per second was a big deal back in 2018. And I even said, add in Interledger Protocol, and we have scaling to 1 trillion transactions per second. That is huge. And a lot of people don't realize that XRP is going to be moving a lot of money on a daily basis. It's built to serve every single person on the planet. Everybody always talks about Bitcoin adoption. That's now the new narrative. Adoption is coming for Bitcoin. Nobody's really adopting Bitcoin. What you're seeing is this, a big hype push. The politicians are now on board, like Senator Loomis, with pushing that hype narrative. Why? Because she's a bag holder. She's already told us that she holds Bitcoin. So she wants to keep the hype narrative going. Then you have other people in Washington also pushing that same hype now. Because if you push the hype and you push the hype, eventually people start to believe the hype. And the hype never ends. XRP, when it's moving money on a daily basis in the not so distant future, that's going to change everything. Because how can you compete with that? You can't create a narrative around it. You have to accept it for what it is. And that's why they're afraid of XRP. But this is why I'm explaining this, is because it's so much bigger than most people think, and so many people are going to sell way too soon before it even happens. Ripple in 2028. What could XRP price be by the end of Donald Trump's second term? People are already starting to look at the next cycle. So they're saying XRP should be trading around $150 to $200 by 2028. I think it's going to happen sooner. Honestly, I think that institutional wave, once it comes, it's going to be overwhelming. It's going to take a lot of people by surprise. I mean, you look at the Bitcoin ETFs last year, what they did for the price of Bitcoin. This is going to be so much bigger because, again, people actually know what XRP is built to do. The institutions absolutely know it, and they want in. That's what it's all about. That's why you have all these filings. People know the demand is there, and they want to open up the floodgates for XRP. Just a reminder, only 0.078% of the world's population holds XRP in 2025. Despite the growing popularity of XRP, the number of individuals who own it worldwide is minuscule, leaving plenty of room for growth. And I said, you're an early prospector of XRP if you're in now. You know, everybody always says, I think I'm too late to XRP. You know, if they're buying right now, if you're buying today, right? If you just bought your very first XRP today, you got in before the guy who buys tomorrow, and the guy who buys the day after tomorrow, and the guy who buys next year, and the year after that. So never look at yourself as being too late. You are still very early. It's like you're out there prospecting for gold. That's what's going on right now. We're just waiting for the value to show up. You're just waiting to get rich. You already bought the lottery ticket. You're just waiting for the millions to pour in. And that's the way I look at XRP. You know, there were people that bought way before I bought it. I bought mine after the 2017-2018 run. I missed it by a few months. And how I first got into XRP was somebody was actually talking about meme coins. And I bought meme coins before I bought XRP. And I lost a lot of money in meme coins back then. But then all of a sudden, I started looking at utility and I started looking at the vision people had for XRP. And I thought, you know, what if XRP was to replace Swift? What if Ripple was to replace Swift? I got to get in on this now. Plus, that big run just happened as well. That was fresh in a lot of people's minds. And the hype back then was crazy. And everybody was pushing the next cycle because that cycle already ended. So they're like, in 2021, they expect the price to go to like $10 plus. And I was thinking, if I'm buying now, and I think back then it was like 15 cents or 17 cents. It was cheap. And I thought to myself, if I buy now and this thing goes to $10, I got in early on this. And that's where we are right now. If you're buying at $2.40, $2.30, people are expecting a $40 to $50 run on XRP in this cycle. And there's a hell of a lot better chance of that happening now than it was back in 2021. Because what stopped the run in 2021 was the Ripple versus SEC case. It started in December of 2020. Think about that. That's how new that case was. And XRP still achieved $1.92. Where do you think it's going in this run? We are going to look at a run similar, but I think even bigger than the 2017-2018 run. So never think of yourself as being too late. You are still early. Current approach is clearly a failure. SEC Crypto Task Force Roundtable debates future regulation of digital assets. And once they come up with regulations for XRP, not just XRP, for crypto, it's going to be a game changer in this space. Right now, it's still the wild, wild west to some extent. I mean, look at last year. Look at how many celebrity rug pulls there were with meme coins. I mean, we even had that kid that rug pulled everyone for like 30 grand. That will have to come to an end. And that's why you have institutions still sitting on the sidelines, because it's way too risky. It's way too volatile. Regulations are going to change all of that. It's going to change that whole narrative once they get here, because liquidity is going to shift, and these cryptocurrencies, they're going to be at a much higher value, but it's going to be a more stable value. And only a handful are going to be absolutely major winners. You know, every cycle that comes to an end, think of the .com. Only a handful made it out of the .com bubble. Same thing's going to happen in crypto. Only a handful are really going to go on to be massive. Ripple and XRP are going to be one of them. Stellar, XLM, another, XDC, and so on. These are going to be the winners. And once that takes place, it's going to be a much different time in crypto. You're not going to hear about these rug pulls anymore, because what's going to happen is they're going to crack down on the rug pulls through regulations. There's going to be so many laws in place when it comes to rug pulls and blatant scams, because those meme coin launches, in my opinion, were nothing more than a scam. They already knew they were going to rug pull when they launched them. It's like premeditated rug pulling that was happening last year. But this year is going to be much different. And as all of this happens, we're going to be talking a lot differently about these cryptocurrencies, because at the same time, you're going to have different types of announcements. All of a sudden, you're going to have people displaying their entire roadmap for how they're going to utilize Ripple and XRP, how this institution's going to buy it and lock it away in a liquidity pool for this type of usage. Maybe it's passive income. Maybe it's cross-border payments, but we're just not quite there yet. But until we do get there, stay patient, stay positive, and let's get rich together. With that said, I'm going to wrap up this video. I want to thank you all for watching. I appreciate all of you. I'll see you in the next one. Have a great night.